Well, welcome everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and this is the Living in Vegas podcast. We want to welcome you all to the show this morning. Oh, straighten this camera a little bit here. We come to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Today's Friday, and we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, think living local, and the return of cool. And want to welcome you all to the show today on a Friday. Hope you've had a great week. We've had an interesting, I think it's probably the best word, series of events for this week here in Vegas, and it's just been crazy. We're going to actually talk about it a little bit. It's not ending well. It isn't. I'm hoping that it gets better, and I know it will, but this has been a crazy, crazy week. Sorry, I got static on my glasses now. Just messed with my eyeballs there. I'm your host, Sherman Ray, and I've been in Vegas for, since early 60s, folks. I mean, really, I've been here a long, long time. And the Valley never ceases to amaze me on what's going on here in the Valley. So it's, and this is, our first story today, folks, is going to be, it's just going to floor you. It's not surprising, but it is in a way. And you'll find out more about that in a second. If you would like to find out more about what we do at Livin in Vegas magazine, go to our website livininvegas.com. You'll check out our magazine, which is there. We've not updated our magazine. I am so sorry, folks. It's just crazy. It is what it is. I'm not going to make any excuses. We've just had a crazy couple of weeks. And same thing with Livin Weekly magazine. And we do update our website, so we're kind of reevaluating what we do because we've just got so much we're doing right now, and it's crazy. So I want to encourage you though that if you love being a part of what we're doing here at Livin in Vegas, or what we're doing at Livin Weekly, that kind of stuff, follow us online. So you can follow us on Twitter, because we're always on Twitter all day long. As a matter of fact, I did 3 events this week. 2 or 3 events this week. But the last one we were out at Santa Fe Station. Had a great time. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. But let's do this real quick. Let's pay a bill or two, and then we'll be back with more of the show, and we'll talk all about what we're doing. I'll be back in a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, we're back, folks. This is Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. If you really like to be on the show, and we're going to actually have some really cool guests coming up, I believe next week, we're going to have some really cool guests coming up. Just contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning, folks. I think it's got to be a nervous thing. I didn't even turn on YouTube to make sure I was even on. But yeah, you can check us out. No, let's make sure for some reason. There we go. If you'd like to be an advertiser on the show, you'd like to be an advertiser in the magazine or anything like that, just contact us. We would love to have you on the show. Just go to advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll take care of you. Also, if you would like to subscribe to the page here, just subscribe right here. Just click that little button. Okay, click it. And definitely would love to have you to be loving the show. I really do. It's fun. We actually have a good time here. And so welcome. I'm probably, let's see if we can see your videos. So what I'm doing is I'm looking on YouTube right now to make sure we're up and running. And because I didn't put up the chat feature in my face right here where I can see it, it's over to the side. So check us out. It'd be great. And we'd love to have you to be a part of the show, be a part of what we're doing here, that kind of stuff. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on and has happened the last couple of days in Vegas. We had a stabbing here, folks. This was just ugly. And once again, I'm not surprised, but I am very disappointed at the fact we had some nut job coming here to the Valley. And this guy's name is Yanni. Yanni, what's Yanni's last name? Who cares? He's a loser. Guy decides that he's going to go on a stabbing spree. I think he stabbed. Oh gosh, how many people did he stab? His name is Yanni Barrios. I think he booked. He's under 2 counts of open murder with a deadly weapon and 6 counts of attempted murder with a deadly weapon. The guy had a kitchen knife, a fairly substantial kitchen knife. They believe that he is not from Las Vegas. He's probably from some, I hope he's not from Vegas. Matter of fact, my wife and I were talking about that this morning. It's worth watching cars. I was driving my wife to work this morning, and we're watching these cars just zip in and out on the freeway now. And we're going, you know what? These people obviously are not from Vegas. They couldn't be from Vegas because Vegas people don't drive that way. We just don't. We're not stupid that way. So I'm encouraging you folks, if you are here in Vegas and you are enjoying our little piece of heaven, take your time. There's no reason why you need to get killed or kill someone else because you are in such a hurry to get to wherever you're going. So unless you are delivering a baby, you've got a brain tumor that is going to explode in your head or something like that, then just slow down. There's really no reason for you to be getting. If you're late to work, you're going to be late you're going to be late either way. Okay, so just apologize when you get to the door. Tell your boss I screwed up, and they'll forgive you, as opposed to you wrecking somebody else because you're trying to get to wherever you're going. And the same thing with this Yanni guy. This kid, he's 32 years old. He killed 2 people. I'm trying to look in his eyes. I have a picture. We're not going to show a picture of the guy because you know what? No, we're not going to give him any FaceTime. And I'm trying to look at his face to see if the guy's got this crazed look in his eyes. He doesn't, but he's obviously crazed. So, and we just pray for the families. And as a matter of fact, we'll actually name some of the people who got hurt though. Brent Allen Hallett, he's 47. I believe he actually died. And Maureen De Giovanni, 30 years old. They're both from Vegas, and that's just a sad thing. It's just so sad. Police are investigating it, of course, and this guy was down over near the Wynn, and it's just kind of a crazy thing. What are you gonna do? Also, let's get the bad news out of the way. So there were some Hell's Angels, folks. Hell's Angels, evidently. So I wish I had a picture of these guys that was up here, because these guys do not look happy. These look like very mean people who I would love to see you guys in church. That's where you need to be at. You just need to be in church. And so prosecutors filed paperwork before a hearing indicating they received credible information that the FBI learned that the Hells Angels members from multiple states were traveling to Vegas to take care of witnesses in a case that actually stemmed back from, I think it was in May, that there was a case where some people were arrested because they said, hey, there was a shooting that was going on. People, or these people had information about the people who were involved in a shooting that happened in May. And so the Hells Angels that were coming back to Vegas, they were going to take care of the witnesses in it. Okay, come on, guys. All right, so I know this is not happy news today. It's just not. I wish we'll get all the sad stuff out of the way first, then we'll go to the happy stuff. Okay. In unrelated news, but it's on a political front because we actually have elections coming up pretty quick. Catherine Cortez Masto, who is our state senator or senior state senator right now, she evidently and not surprisingly, even though she says, "Oh, we believe in border security and everything else," she's defending the DACA kids who are now probably in their 40s now. These are deferred action for childhood arrivals. These were kids that were brought over here to the United States by their illegal parents. And their illegal parents came by, had kids here in the United States, and now these kids, through no fault of their own, are stuck in a quagmire of legal and really institutional immigration problems. So, Catherine Cortez Masto is upset because the Supreme Court, or a federal court of appeals, upheld a ruling that found that these DACA kids, the program is unlawful. So President Obama said, "Oh, you know what? By this, this is what he did. He goes, you know what? I think we should allow these kids into our country." So he wrote a little, a presidential decree and said, "We're going to allow these kids to stay in the country," which is unlawful because the president doesn't make laws. Okay, I wanted to say that again. The president of the United States cannot make laws. It's unlawful for him to do so. The people who make the laws are actually the Congress, okay, or the Senate, okay? Congress, yes, and the Congress has the purse strings, but the Senate makes the laws, okay? So we actually have a separation of powers in our form of government, and the Supreme Court justices don't make laws. The president doesn't make laws. The people in the houses of Congress make laws. Okay, Senate and the Congress. And so when President Obama, back in the 90s or whatever it was, signed the law, said that, hey, we're going to allow these kids to come here, it was unlawful. And now he set up these kids for they're going to have to be deported. And that's just kind of the way it is. I hate to say it that way, folks, but laws are laws, okay? And we are a nation of laws. And now we still have the same thing happening on our southern border. And many of you know they already know the story. That we've got upwards of 4 million people who are streaming or have streamed across our southern border and said, hey, we're here now, deal with it. Well, unfortunately, this isn't the point of the show here. I'm so sorry, folks. But we got a problem. And the reason why I bring this up in light of Las Vegas is we are ground zero for that. Pound for pound, we have more illegals in Las Vegas than any other city in America. Okay? They seem to migrate up here for some reason, but we have got more illegals here from what I've heard, okay? And if I'm wrong, folks, somebody please correct me. But we have more illegals here than any other place. And which means the job market here just got really tighter because we have a lot of illegals and a lot of people who are hiring illegals. And that's kind of the way it is. All right, so let's do this. Let's pay another bill, folks. We'll be back and let's talk some happy stuff, okay? We'll talk about the weekend. This is Sherman Ray for the Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll be back in a second. Hi, everybody. It's Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Interesting. Okay. So many of you are probably wondering why we are doing a live show on YouTube. And we've been mentioning this all week long. I just got to make sure we continue to make this very loud and clear. Normally, what we do is we actually broadcast live on Facebook. Oh, so sorry. There's something weird kind of thing going on there. So normally we broadcast live on Facebook, and then we upload it to YouTube later. And we've been doing that for better part of almost a year now, where we've done that. And we started out on YouTube, but then we kind of went over to Facebook because we actually have a fairly large following on Facebook. Well, about a year ago, which was September 6th to be exact, we posted something not on Livin in Vegas, but I've got another site. So we actually, S-Ray Media Group actually has several arms of it. So our media group does politics, we do Christian stuff, we do Livin in Vegas, we do all kinds of stuff. Well, our political arm posted something on Facebook at a political page, a private political page. Okay, I want to say that again. It's a private political page, which means it's not a public page. Okay, the only reason why you go on that page is because you agreed to be on that page and you know what you're going to get on that page. Okay, private. No one knows it's there, and it's not a secret page. It's just a private page, and you can't get on there unless you've been vetted. That's it. That's just the way it is. So September 6th was the date. Somebody posted something on that page, and a year later, Facebook looked back on that page, saw what was on that page, didn't like it, and they said, hey, guess what? That goes against our community standards, even though it's on a private page. I want to say it again, a private page. And for that reason, Facebook said, you, Mr. Ray, me, cannot post any live videos on our platform for an entire month. Which is a month before the election. Wow. Is that coincidental? I'll say no. I'll just say no. Because they would never do that. Okay? So, which means that the live show that we normally have for this show, we can't do it. As a matter of fact, I can't do my Christian broadcasting show. Can't do anything on Facebook for an entire month. Which means the whole month of October, we're off of it. We'll be back over there in November. But I'm almost tempted to just continue to do this show here on YouTube from now on. Why should we put content on Facebook to draw people to Facebook when they don't want us on it? Just saying. So that's why we're here. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about some cool stuff that's going on in Vegas. There's really not much going on. Oh yeah, there is actually. There's a band that's going to be playing over at Brooklyn Bowl tonight. And it's the band's called Wallows, Southern California Alternative Rockers. They're going to be in concert there. So there's going to be about 2,500 people there. It's going to be pretty cool. The Brooklyn Bowl is over at the on the Strip, so you can actually check that out. There's actually quite a few shows that are going to be on there. So you can look on our website at livininvegas.com. You can check out all the shows and all the cool stuff that's going to be on there, which is really cool. That's going to be up there. So that's livininvegas.com. livininvegas.com. Also, there's another story that says, guess what? That the housing market here in Vegas has basically leveled off. Yeah, they said that it's leveled off. Its sales stall. And we noticed this, that my wife and I were looking at home, because we were looking at starting another business. And so we were looking at home prices and where they're at. And there was a time when you couldn't find a home for sale in Vegas. I mean, that was it. You're just not going to find one. But now they're all over the place. And so the average time on, did they say when the average time's on the market now? It's still quite a while. So here, I'll read the article just a little bit. New numbers released by the Las Vegas Realtors show that the median price for a pre-existing single home in September was about $450,000. Which is just incredibly expensive, but it is what it is. And I'm going to have to call friend back in just a little bit. It's my money person. The market cooled off as interest rates continue to climb. The current rate is 6.7%, and more than double what it was last year at this time. So it's just got people stopped from buying stuff, which is amazing. So they say, in spite of larger inventory, sales in September were up 1.4%. Isn't bad. From August, and down 36.7% from September of 2021. So we hit a record in May of $482,000 back in May. It's a lot. I mean, it's pretty darn expensive. And here, I'm going to send a text really quick because you know what? I have a money person who I really should be should have been talking to about money. Oops. And if I don't send them a message right now, they're going to think that I'm dissing them, and I'm not. So I'm going to send them I won't even write it. I will say it, okay? Let's see. Doing a podcast right now. We'll call you back in just a bit. So, there. So I just sent that note. See how quickly? That's modern technology. You can do that stuff. So, that could be millions of dollars right there. So you can't. Sorry, folks. You just can't say no. I'm not going to talk to you. Okay, but you can surely tell them that something else is going on right now. So the Rebels, and of course we always talk about the Rebels here, folks. The Rebels swept New Mexico 3-0 in the women's volleyball. So excited for that. I love women's volleyball. It's so cool. They're so cool. So this was in Albuquerque, a UNLV volleyball team, which is 13-3 in overall and 4-1 in conference, swept the New Mexico Lobos. 3 sets. Swept them. Thursday evening at the Johnson Center, which is great. So we just... I love the girls. I just love them. They're just, as a matter of fact, we did. So she said, "Copy that." They showed one of the girls who was, and I was on. We were tweeting about this because we actually do follow them all the time. We follow everything UNLV. One of the girls was, they put a mic on them, and they mic them up, and so they say, "Okay, go ahead and do whatever you're going to do. We want to hear what you're going to say in real time." But she's a volleyball player, which means she's jumping all over the place. She's spiking. She lost her mic like 4 times. So we were, what are you going to do? You can't put a mic on somebody. The same thing with the FC Lights, our soccer team. They tried to mic up somebody doing that. And I go, well, you can't do that because it's very tough to put a mic on somebody who's jumping around all the time. So... it is what it is. But we did really good. Also in sports, so we got some good things in sports. I love our sports teams here. Vegas Golden Knights. We beat the LA Kings, which is great, and it was very cool. So we're doing all right. We're gonna all right. So I'm gonna go out on a limb again, and I've done this before, and I'll do it again. The Vegas Golden Knights playoffs this year. Not only will I predict they will make it to the playoffs, I'm going to predict, and I'm putting it out here now, Stanley Cup this year. Vegas Golden Knights. Okay? Vegas Golden Knights this year. The Stanley Cup. You heard it here first, folks. I did it with I made the prediction with the Aces, and it came true. Okay? I'm just I'm a good judge of horseflesh. Okay, we've got a great team this year, and I think we're going to do great. Okay, so just don't be surprised. Okay, and it sounds like somebody's outside my window there, and the dogs are just going crazy. Can you hear them? Oh, they're not happy at all. Oh no. So whoever that is out there probably should just leave. So this weekend we just got a couple more minutes here, folks. This weekend the Raiders are going to be playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be a tough game. Not only a tough game, folks, it'll be a monumental game. It will match Derek Carr against that Patrick Mahomes guy. Yeah. So my wife and I will be on separate ends of the couch. separate ends of the couch watching the game. So the Las Vegas Raiders playing against my wife's Kansas City Chiefs, and we'll see. Okay, I love both teams. I really do. I'm becoming more and more of a fan of the Raiders, even though I'm a Dallas Cowboy guy. I will always be a Dallas Cowboy fan, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so Josh McDaniels, coach, versus Andy Reid. We call him the Walrus, because his mustache is very walrus-y like, and then he kind of lumbers on the sidelines. Fuck up, Patrick. You gonna throw another touchdown? That kind of thing. So we'll see what happens. Okay. And I'm looking really forward to finding out what's going to happen with the Raiders this weekend. Okay, and we're not going to do any more. We're not going to do any more sad stories today. Okay, we're just not going to do it. Okay, I've got a lot more stuff. We won't get to those sad stories. Okay, so don't worry about that. We'll put those off for just a little bit. But you can see them if you like. You can go to our website at livininvegas.com. It's livininvegas.com. A lot of stuff in town this weekend, folks. If you are going to do something this weekend, this is my suggestion. Okay, here's my suggestion: high school football. Okay, high school football. We're going to a game tonight. The Clark Chargers are playing against Durango, and we're going to go and watch our grandchildren play this weekend or tonight, which will be great. I'm looking really forward to that. Little Gaby baby, we're going to be there, and we're going to watch them play against Durango. It should be fun. We've got the chairs. We'll get some soda, and we'll sit out there and watch and scream because we are those grandparents. Okay, we are those grandparents. We will scream and yell and go crazy, and people stare at us, and they'll, but who cares? They're our grandkids. We have to support them. Okay, we love them, and so this weekend, this is my suggestion to you. Tonight, find a high school football game. Get out there, have some fun. Urge on the kids. That's our next generation. Love the casinos. Okay, if you want to go out and see a show, that's wonderful. Okay, but tonight, okay, it's going to be beautiful tonight. Okay, weather's going to be perfect. So I'm encouraging you, get out tonight, find a game, and go to a football game. Now, I want to warn you first before you go there. The varsity football games are about $5 a piece, okay? You cannot go there and pay cash for it. There is a website or an app, and it's called Ticket Spigot or Ticket Spigot. Because I got to buy my tickets here in a second. It's called Ticket Spigot. Let me double check. Yeah, it's called Ticket Spigot. It's just like it sounds. You have to buy your tickets on that particular. Here it is right here, so you can see it right there. Okay. You buy your tickets on this app online. That's the only way they'll do it. Okay, it's called Ticket Spigot. Can you see that? Okay, and that's the only way you can get to it. So, go to a high school football game tonight and just enjoy yourself. Vegas has got so much going on, and that's a great way to start off the weekend. Then maybe go to a craft brewery, that kind of stuff, and hang out a little bit and enjoy the game and enjoy the weekend. Okay, so that's my suggestion to you this weekend. Okay. Anyways, it's been a wonderful week, hasn't it? I think it has been. It's been a crazy weekend. Once again, we want to pray for all of these. These poor folks that were stabbed this weekend by this crazy guy. We pray for the families, and our prayers, our thoughts, and our prayers go out to you. Okay. So, anyways, it's been Sherman Ray for the Livin in Vegas podcast. We will see you again Monday, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trends, and events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think about living in Vegas, folks, think living local and the return of cool. Oh yeah, we're cool. We'll see you again Monday, 8:30 for the Livin in Vegas podcast. Bye bye.